Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me. First, I should probably address what is most important, and that is you guys. Again, we crossed 10,000 subscribers, and the comments yesterday were just filled with people congratulating me. And it feels weird because you guys are the reason. You know, I need to be thanking you. I need to be congratulating you for coming back and supporting me in really a season or a endeavor, a journey that has by and large been a failure. And I know I post other videos and things that you guys may find helpful, and some of you may glean some information from these home run videos. But man, guys, this has been a challenge, and I think we've learned. I'll speak for myself. I've learned things about myself and my practice through this, so it's not a total waste. But home runs are difficult. Yesterday was my wife's birthday. My cake that I made her went off without a hitch. I made her an ice cream cake, and she enjoyed it. She complimented it, and that feels good. So we'll hang our hat on that. So we did have a shortened day yesterday. TJ Friedl and Mickey Moniak hit, but not a lot of optimism elsewhere. Maybe we should talk about Nicholas Kurtz, who hit 4 home runs yesterday, which is crazy because the day before, all of my comments were filled with people who were all over him. You know, they loved him for some reason on Thursday or whatever that was. And they're like, he cost me a slip, he cost me a slip, he cost me a slip. And then he comes back in typical sports betting fashion and shoves 4 in your face. Classic, right? I experimented with something off the record yesterday, which I had a lot of fun doing. Typically, I've been doing 4-leg round robins and playing the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s. And I said, what if and my frustration with that is the other guys that I like on the slate hit, right? It's hard to just pick 4 guys. I was playing everyone. Then I narrowed it way down. And again, I'm trying to figure out what is most enjoyable for me. So yesterday, what I did was I picked, in this case, I think 8 guys that I liked on the day, and I just played them by 3s. And I played them for maybe 50 cents or 25 cents or something on the by 3s. And I ended up cashing Moniak, Bellinger, and Soderstrom and profiting. And only hit 3, and 4 would have been a massive payday. So, we're going to mix it up. We're going to continue to do it. But I think this may be something that I enjoyed not only from like a recreational standpoint, but also gives us a chance to win some money. So enough of that. Today is Streaky Saturday. We'll keep it rolling here. And we'll start with the game in New York. It looks good in terms of weather. Somebody commented yesterday and said, how could you forget that game? That game looks amazing. And it was okay. There were, I don't know how many home runs, 4 or 5. So I apologize for leaving that out. I'm not moved by the bats here by and large. I think right-handed batters are going to be who you need to target because of the strong winds that are going to be potentially hurting left-handed batters who pull. I think a lot of the home runs are going to go to left field. It is a short wall, short porch over there in left in Yankee Stadium. So I think guys who are going to hit it to, that side of the field are going to be the ones you want to target. Nick Castellanos, that's a good number, 680. Trey Turner, 680, also a good number. Aaron Judge, I'm shocked that you get Aaron Judge over 200. He is facing Ranger Suarez, a lefty, which should be good for him, but Suarez is pretty good. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a haircut like a week. Oh, my barber tore his meniscus on a high dive or something, and so he hasn't been cutting hair. My appointment got pushed way back. It's driving me crazy. I should shower before these. Might help. But Anthony Volpe, 8-1 is another very good price against a lefty in Suarez. So optimism here in terms of home run feel. Prices look good, but the pitching could hold us back. Game in Kansas City, this is a doubleheader. I will likely pass. Manzardo, Ramirez, and Witt are my leans. Game in Detroit, how dare we even consider challenging maybe the best pitcher right now in the league, and that is Tariq Skubal. He's off paternity leave. I guess he just had a kid. We'll see how that plays in. Maybe he's going to be a little tired. Maybe he's going to be a little rusty. I know if I had, looking back to when I had my daughter, going back out there after, I don't know if it's its first kid or what, but hey, I was a little off my game too. So we'll see. And the numbers, the prices are fitting for Skubal, right? Springer 850 is crazy. He was 400 yesterday, if I remember correctly. So you're getting double the odds because of the pitcher. Ernie Clement, 1250. Riley Green, I like again. I just have this weird fear that he's going to do it today because he didn't yesterday and he's my favorite pick. It's kind of like the Nick Kurtz scenario where you really like a guy and he costs you, and then the next day out, what do you know? Take Riley Green for 4 home runs if you can find it. It might be due. Spencer Torkelson, good price for him, $475. Game in Pittsburgh, Eugenio Suarez could be traded today, so be careful. A lot of teams interested in him. I would imagine the asking price is rather steep because of what he's been able to do. Randall Grichuk, Andrew McCutchen kind of sticks out to me for some reason. It just feels good at that number, 540, and Tommy Pham, 850. Game in Cincinnati is a red, white, and blue, is a green, yellow, red, is a little bit of everything. Overall, the park looks good. The Reds look to be okay, and the Rays look to maybe struggle against Andrew Abbott, who's been fairly stellar this year. Fairly stellar. What a line. Fairly stellar. Sounds like an oxymoron. Yandy Diaz, Junior Caminero, TJ Friedel, and we'll try Jake Fraley again. He didn't start yesterday. He came in and pinch hit, so if you took him on FanDuel and you got screwed by that, I do apologize. That is one of the worst things about FanDuel is their house rules there. Game in Baltimore, Hunter Goodman, good price for him, $475, although I don't like their matchup against Trevor Rogers today. Kind of quietly onto the scene as a guy who has the stuff and has showed he's had the stuff for Baltimore. Britton Doyle at 7-1, Jordan Westberg and Gunnar Henderson, 475, 400. Yesterday, I did not mention any Baltimore Orioles, and they hit 4 as a team. I said I didn't like any of them against the lefty Kyle Freeland. And a lot of that is because the wind was helping lefties, and so then I felt like I would have to challenge the wind. It didn't end up mattering. The wind was not a factor. Now, in the comments yesterday, Adam Westbury, I thought Adam Westbury was on my team. I thought Adam Westbury, a frequent viewer of the channel, was kind and considerate. He's been pretty optimistic, but the last few days, I don't know what's gotten into Adam Westbury. He's been a little bit critical, a little bit challenging, a little bit, he's like one of those students in class you got where they're poking at you. Everything you say, everything you do, it's like, what am I doing? Like, is everything okay, Adam? I thought we were cool, Adam. So he kind of mentioned the fact, of course, Baltimore went crazy. You didn't like him, and then they hit. He also called me out for an error that I had in saying that Taylor Ward was good at home 2 days ago. Ballpark Pal released a new feature, which I'm going to talk about in the next few days. It's awesome, and it rivals, services of Prop Finder and GDI Insights, those two softwares people use for home runs. But his data was flipped, and he had home and away backwards, and I didn't know that. And so I mentioned something, and he said, "You were wrong, and you didn't tell everybody you were wrong." I was like, "I didn't know I was wrong," and I went and looked, and I was wrong. And so here I am telling you that I am wrong. Ballpark had the information flipped. I messaged him. He fixed it. So all's good on that front, but I'm sorry, Adam. I've hurt your feelings somewhere. I don't know why. I don't know how. I'm telling you, I'm not great at this. We kind of know I'm not great at this. Texas, Atlanta. Jurickson Profar, Matt Olson looks good at 4-1. Corey Seager and Rowdy Tellez. Game in Chicago, I'm giving it another chance. Pitching doesn't look great, so I like the batters for both teams. Overall, I like it. Weather's not as good as it was yesterday. Michael Busch, Seiya Suzuki. Chase Meadrith, I think is how you say his name. Not a home run guy. I believe he had one yesterday, though. And at 1060, we're talking streaky Saturday here. So if a guy's seeing the ball, hitting the ball, let's go back to the well. Miguel Vargas, 475. Game in Houston, you go from a team that cranked yesterday, Langelier, Soderstrom, and Kurtz with 4, to, now I don't like you at all. Now you're red. It's Hunter Brown today, best pitcher for the Astros, maybe if you don't want to count Framber Valdez, but I'm going to count Hunter Brown as the best pitcher for the Astros. And yeah, maybe some lefties can get after him. I just didn't like the matchup, so I'm skipping Altuve and Diaz. Game in Milwaukee was okay for home runs yesterday. I maybe should have considered it. A couple guys I typically like did hit Kyle Stowers and Jackson Churio both. Augustin Ramirez, Andrew Vaughn, and William Contreras. I don't love it overall, but I do like Andrew Vaughn today. Last games of the night, it's not great. I really thinned down. I think as the night goes on, it gets worse for homers. Game in Minnesota, not the best place to hit home runs anyway. Bell, Abrams, Buxton, and Lewis are my leans. I don't end up taking anybody from them. Game in Boston, we got Garrett Crochet pitching, and I don't like any Dodgers against Garrett Crochet. Bregman and Story are my leans tonight. Game in St. Louis, I think you could work with. The wind is helping right-handed bats. I realize I have Brendan Donovan, who is a lefty, but I think his matchup could overcome some of the wind here against Randy Vasquez. So Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis, Brendan Donovan, and Wilson Contreras. Now, this is something we may need to point out. You want the Contreras brothers parlay. I like them both today. Why not? Toss them in, mix it up. Put a few sprinkles of some American currency on it, or Canadian if you reside above us, and have some fun. Game in San Francisco, I don't like it. The fact that Pete Alonso is at 470 should tell you everything you need to know about how difficult it is to hit home runs here. He's my only play. Lastly, game in LA. The Seattle team continues to have just tremendous success with these right-handers, Rodriguez and Arozarena, and I think why not lean in? Why not go back to the well? If the well provides, we will sip from the well. Mike Trout and Logan O'Hoppe. So here's what we're doing today. I'm going to be just completely honest with you. I took Streaky Saturday with an asterisk. Asterisk-geeky Saturday. Asterisk-geeky Saturday. Because of the All-Star break and guys, the schedule being weird and just we're not going to go full, they've got to have a home run in the last 10 days. Most of these guys do, but we're not going to adhere to that as strictly as possible. So I'm going to try what I tried yesterday off the record, and we're going to try it on the record, which means we're going to go 0 for 7. Castellanos, Caminero, McCutchen, Olsen, Meadrith, Tatis, and Arozarena. We're going to put them all in a slip together. And you can see, and I don't like to talk money. I don't think it's anybody's business. I think everyone should bet what they're willing to lose, willing to have fun with, not be upset by. But I'm going to tell you how I do this and give you an idea of how this works. So if you play the round robin by two, sorry, this is dark. I took the screenshot too late and FanDuel, I barely got it. Sorry. By twos, so everybody is paired with everybody is what this does. And I put 30 cents on each wager. Then I did the by threes, so everybody is paired with the other two possibilities every time. So all of these are three-leg parlays. Put 25 cents on each. It is a total of $15. And if three guys hit, we'll profit. This is how that works. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think this can minimize our losses because I think if two guys hit, we should, barely lose anything. We should be close to breaking even. So, and 3 gets us in the money, and 4 or more is a big profit. So that's what I'm doing to sort of emphasize fun, cover my bases, no pun intended, a little bit more, pick a lot of guys so I'm not disappointed when guys I liked ended up hitting and I didn't have them because I selected 4, but also not overextend my bankroll and spend, a ton of money. That's the way I'm approaching it today. And heck, I may change tomorrow. FanDuel has a 30% boost on any bet in the nation, in the league, in the ballpark at all. And I went AV, the AV parlay. It was unintentional. I didn't realize it until I screenshot, and I was like, how many MLB players have the initials AV? I'm going to guess 2, and they're right here in front of you. Anthony Volpe and Andrew Vaughn. We'll let it rip. We'll let it fly, and we'll hope we can come away with a W. That's all I got for you. More videos coming, I promise. So yeah, thank you guys. 10K is humbling. It took me, I know I've talked about this before. You can leave now if you don't want to hear me yap. So have fun, love you, bye. But for those of you who care, I started this journey and it took me, if I remember it correctly, I started like really close to March Madness of 2023 or 4. And it took me until Christmas to hit 1,000 subscribers. And that would be Christmas of 2023. Sorry. Yeah. 2024. So it took me about 9 months to hit 1,000 subscribers. And then in just another year and a half, we're at 10K. So it's a hard grind. If anybody's out there, I guess what I will say is if somebody's out there wanting to do something, maybe it's start a YouTube channel, maybe it's just something else, and it seems daunting, I'll tell you right now, it is daunting. If you look at it from a perspective of out here, right? I have goals for this channel. I have dreams for this channel. 10K means a lot, but I don't feel like we accomplished our goals and we're going to just stop. And what you really have to do, at least in content, what I've learned and even in life, and it goes back to this tattoo I got, is you can't. I like to know the plan. I like to see the end goal before I begin. And I think in a lot of ways in life, that's a great idea. But I've learned that, man, you sometimes just have to put pen to paper. You sometimes just have to press record, even though it's awkward, even though it's uncomfortable, even though you don't really know what you're doing. And you got to learn along the way. And it's more awkward in content when people are watching you and people are critical and people are insulting and things of that nature. But, if you got something, whether it's losing weight, whether it's, making content, whether it's, building a fence in your backyard, try to take small steps every day. Don't get hung up on, I want to lose 50 pounds. Get hung up on, I need to eat a little better today. Today I'm going to cut out sweets. And maybe this week I'm going to cut out sweets, right? And take those small steps. And I'm talking like I know things. I don't know jack about Jill, okay? I don't know anything. But I can speak from the experience that I have in this endeavor. And the experience and the knowledge that I've gained in a really small microcosm of the universe is, we begin by beginning. We got to start. And that's been the most helpful for me. So appreciate you guys, really, truly. Love you guys, really, truly. And we'll see you tomorrow.